I hope you came for some preaching because I've got a sermon. Hey everyone, Dylan Schumacher, Citadel Defense. And you see this pop up from time to time, and it feels like we go through waves of this where there's a lot of conversation about it, and then not much, and a lot, and not much. And there's this common, I would say common misconception among non-gun folk, muggles, if you will, non-gun people, that the Second Amendment, is, well, I believe in the Second Amendment, I like to hunt, or, I believe in the Second Amendment, I like to collect, or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with hunting, there's nothing wrong with collecting. Those things are all wonderful and great and fine. But the Second Amendment is about war fighting, right? Like, at the end of the day, the people who built this nation just got done fighting I think it's 8 years long war against the British. And at the end of that, they decided, hey, just spitballing here, but we should maintain the rights that we just fought for, and we should preserve in perpetuity the rights that we have used to liberate ourselves from tyranny. Namely, the right of people to disagree with their government, right? First Amendment stuff, and say whatever they want. And then the second one, to be able to give it teeth and enforce it. Thanks for coming with me on that little tour of history. The point of the Second Amendment, right, is that the citizenry of the United States should have the kit, the skill set and training and knowledge and mindset to be able to fight and win wars. The United States was properly envisioned with no standing army, right? So what does that mean? It means that you, if you're watching this and you're an American male citizen, are the standing army, right? That's your birthright. And I mean that in the fullest sense of the word, right? That is your birthright. The fact that you are an American man means that it is your duty, your sacred honor, right? Another sermon on honor and how it's fallen out of fashion and all that kind of thing. Your duty and sacred honor to be able to have the equipment, knowledge, skill, gears, training, whatever, to fight for and win wars in defense of your nation. That's it. That's what the Second Amendment is about. It's not about hunting deer, and what do you think the deer wearing a Kevlar vest? It's not about hunting deer. It's not about shooting ducks. It's not about preserving your couple weeks a year where you're allowed to shoot the bird of your choice. It's not about any of that. It is about shooting bad guys in the face who want to kill you. It's that simple. It's not even about personal protection or self-defense, which, hey, all great and good, and you should carry a pistol every day, and if you don't, you're wrong, and et cetera, et cetera. But that's not what the Second Amendment is about. It's not about making sure that we have constitutional carry in every state. Again, good thing. You should have constitutional carry. Glad that May issue got shut down, and now everything has to be shall issue, et cetera, et cetera. But I am telling you that at the end of the day, that's not what the Second Amendment is about. And when people talk about, do civilians need whatever thing, right? And it's, this kind of pack or this kind of skill set or this power laser or whatever, I think that's a bad question to be asking. And I'm not even sure why we keep having this discussion. I know it's the internet, people keep saying things, et cetera, et cetera. Someone will see this video and think, hey Dylan, you're stupid and you don't know what you're talking about and you didn't do this or that or whatever, and so therefore I invalidate your opinion. And I understand that. That's how the internet works, I get it. But at the end of the day, the question is, do civilians need whatever? We're civilian tactics for, civilian whatever, and we try to say, the mission set is different and whatever. And I'm like, okay, maybe, in your everyday, day-to-day stuff, maybe. But at the end of the day, your birthright is you should be able to band together with your local group of friends to fight communists and win wars. This isn't rocket science. This is historically verifiable of what it has always been. So do civilians need et cetera things? Yes, obviously, of course. Why? Because they might have the same mission set of fighting and winning wars that they're supposed to have had since the founding of the nation. And you can say, war's more complicated, and there's drones, and there's intercontinental ballistic missiles with nuclear bombs, and there's F-16s, and there's tanks, and mortars, and all bazookas, and whatever, all the other stuff. You like how I went to World War II for the bazooka, RPGs, right? There's all the stuff. But What I'm saying is, one, we should of course have access to those things. And two, more importantly, at the bare minimum, you and your boys should be schooled in good small unit tactics, right? Preferably with some kind of irregular guerrilla style kind of fighting system. Working on a book on that, we're getting there. That's really what we should think about here. And I just think the questions of like, should civilians do this or do that? Or it's just the wrong question to be asking. If you start at a bad point, I think you're going to end at a bad point. And it's also one of the reasons, and I know people don't like when I say this, or at least some people don't. I don't like the word civilian, right? Like, I like the word citizen, because you have a birthright, you are committed to something, you are bought into something, namely your nation and your people and your culture, right? And you are therefore willing to defend it, because citizens have been doing that since ever. You look back at like the Greeks who fought at Thermopylae, one, Spartan citizens, two, the Battle of Marathon, right? Athenian citizens who just strapped on their armor. Athenians probably a little bit better comparison to us, because normally they were just everyday people, right? But when time came, they strapped on their gear, they stepped out into the field, and they fought wars. Citizens of nations, the Romans another great example, have been doing that since ever. I'm a big fan of the word citizen. You should be a citizen. You should embrace your Second Amendment birthright, which is about having the kit and knowledge and training and ability and mindset to fight and win wars. And that is part of the reason that I call Citadel Defense a Minuteman supply company, right? A Minuteman supply company. I believe in that vision wholeheartedly, and I want to equip you to accomplish that, right? And there are other really good companies out there that also want to do that, and you should probably patron them as much as you can. So that's the end of my sermon. I appreciate you coming along with me on this fun little rant on a Saturday or whatever day it is that I'm recording this. I don't know what day this will get published, so we'll see what day it comes. But I hope that you found that helpful. I hope that gives you something to think about. And I hope that next time people start saying, should people do this or that, or civilians need this, or do you really need that gear? I hope your answer is, absolutely I do, because it's my birthright and I want to pursue it. And it doesn't matter that my day job is a welder. What matters is that I want to embrace my martial American heritage and have the, again, kit, knowledge, skills, training, ability, friends to be able to fight and win wars in defense of my homeland, because that's what I've been called to as an American. Let it sink deep. Believe that in your bones. Do brave deeds and endure.